And there we are. Good morning and welcome to Saturday fucking morning. Live, it's Billy Kirkwood. And do you know something? I'm here with the Pirate King. I don't know what way I'm pointing around here. What way am I pointing? Am I pointing left or am I pointing right? What way am I going here? What side am I on to you, Peter? This way?
I can't see.
That's right. There we go. I'm here with the Pirate King. We thought what we're going to do is we're going to take over your Saturday mornings, take it away from white middle class people talking about books they've written about motivation, and blowing the fuck out of you on the regular channels with some cooking, and get some proper fucking cooking here with the Pirate King and myself. I hope you're bloody amazing wherever you're getting up to this morning. How are you today, sir?
I am very well. It is seasonably fresh in the Pirate Kitchen. As you guys all know, we are half indoors, half outdoors. So the half outdoors has certainly been making itself felt this morning. But we've got ovens and pans on, so there's a little bit of heat. I don't, as you may know from watching the show, that we're usually sponsored by wine. This morning we're sponsored by piping hot tea because it is brisk.
Cheers! Cheers! I'm digging a wee Toro coffee this morning. That's
lovely.
Right, here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be taking over the airways for the next little bit, well, taking over the internet, and we're going to be kicking off. Peter, I legitimately don't know what we're cooking this morning. Why don't you take us through what we've got?
That makes two with me. No, all kidding aside. So this morning, we're going to get a Turkish dish called menemen, which is basically it's eggs and spiced sausage and peppers and all that good stuff and some cheese. And I thought, well, we're a Scottish organisation, so let's do a Scottish take on menemen.
Right.
So I'll run you through what I've got here, and then we'll start putting it all together. So it's a lovely free-range eggs.
Lovely.
These, believe it or not, are Buckfast sausages.
What the hell?
These are a local butcher, the guy that I suck the dick off often on Pirate King TV. Donald's a butcher down in Uddingston.
Can I stop you there just 1 second? Just in case anyone is watching, he hasn't actually sucked his dick on the show, just in case. We don't want the wrong people watching, Peter, is what I'm concerned about.
That'd be unhygienic. We don't love them. So,
exactly. But at these times, we're a little bit hygiene.
we were both wearing a mask. One of them was like, no, we won't go into that. So Buckfast sausages. So there's a bit of sweetness in them. They're not overly Buckfasty. I don't even know if that's an adjective, but there's a bit of sweetness in there. If you want to replace them, you can do it with any pork sausage. You can get pork and apple, pork and onion. Okay. That'll do the same job. Some nice thick cut smoked bacon.
Lovely.
These are peppers. Again, all of this stuff I got out of Aldi. So this is very accessible. We're not going to Marks and Spencer's and we're not ordering stuff off the internet. This is all.
So you said those were peppers?
Yeah. These are little sweet peppers.
Okay, cool.
You can use big bell peppers, absolutely fine.
Right.
These are what Aldi had. So we're going to use these. If you want, you can chop up a chili and put a bit of heat through this. Mrs. Pirate King's not a big heat fiend, so we're going to keep with the sweet ones. Get some Parmesan cheese, some fresh mozzarella. Again, check it at Aldi. It comes in a little bag of milk. We'll deal with these little buggers later. And a couple of tins of chopped tomatoes. You can use fresh tomatoes, but for time today, that's easy. And at the end of the day, people want stuff that's easy to do. This is meant to be a family breakfast for 4 people, and we've got some bread as well, but we'll get on that later.
All right, lovely.
That's what we're going to do. So, I'm going to just start prepping some stuff. So, if you want to,
well, I'm going to be just gabbering away to you. Let me ask you about this. The first thing you said, these Buckfast sausages. This is going to sound like a really obvious question to ask, but is there alcoholic content in there?
So I believe there will be, but as we cook it off, or as we cook it through, we'll cook all the alcohol out, and we'll just be left with the sweet, delicious taste of Buckfast. I can't believe I've just said that.
Sweet, delicious taste.
We're left with the sweetness from the Buckfast. So
yeah, we were going to go for. We were going to go for some methadone flavoured potato scones, but we thought, let's keep it healthy this time of the morning.
Not for the pilot. When we get renewed for season 2, then we'll do the methadone
Hey, if the guys that make methadone are watching, give us a phone. We'll get it sorted. Right. So, how long do we think this is going to take? Because I know that some people you can get up on a Saturday morning. You're hungover. You're rattling. You're sore from the night before. I don't know so much with these 10 p.m. curfews. What the hell's going on? 10 p.m. curfews. Silence. We've got to stay 2 meters apart. When did actually real life become a primary school fucking disco? What's going on? We're not going to be going to the pub and getting quenchy cups next. What the fuck is this? And for the record, sir, I will turn them upside down and bite the bottom and drink them that way, because that's how you're meant to drink a quenchy cup. Just
I didn't know you could drink them any other way, Willie.
Well, it's just I remember at Christmas when we did Panto trying to get a straw into the top of it, and that's the shite they put in the side of the space shuttle. You're fucking ramming it in there, right? But let's talk about what we've got going on. So what are we doing just now, Peter?
So taking the bacon, I basically just cut it in inch cubes or inch slices. I'm just going to get some colour on that because we want that bacon. Release its smoky goodness into it. We got a little bit of olive oil in there. You can use butter, you can use any oil you like. I use olive oil because it's easy. All in all, this should take 25 minutes at the most.
All right, that's nothing.
If you've got time, you can leave it sort of bubbling away on the pan, the tomato juice, and all that sweetness and all that. But if you're absolutely hanging, you can batter this out start to finish in about 25 minutes.
Brilliant, right.
So,
Nice, put up a really interesting comment.
So I think we'll get some comments. So Kaylee's working the desk today, so she'll stick them up. And if you want to,
so we got a question from Mike Connell. Question, and my Scottish show is the same that not knowing this. What does Bucky taste like, Mike? I'm going to blow your mind. I don't know what Buckfast tastes like either, but then I don't drink. But I feel like I do know what it tastes like. And your own opinion, Peter, what exactly do you think Buckfast tastes like? Can you quiz it?
I don't drink it. I've sampled it and spat it out. It's kind of like red sherry with extra sugar. It's as if red sherry and Ribena had a baby.
Oh.
And the baby was ginger. It's not for my palate, but from a cooking point of view, it's there's some sweetness in there. So it's basically, again, if you go to the supermarket and you see pork and apple or pork and caramelised onion, it's doing the same job.
Oh, Sherry and Ribena are my two favourite stripper names.
So what I'm doing with the sausages, take the skin off them, so we're just left with the sausage meat, and we're just going to break that up into little chunks.
Lovely.
Brown it off with the bacon, and again, what we're starting to do is impart flavour into the oil and into the pan. That's when we start adding the tomatoes, and that'll bring it all up. So, cover on that bit.
For those that are watching for the first time, where are you exactly? You are in the galley of the Great Pirate King ship. Where is it? Because if anyone's wondering, one of the reasons we're doing it like this is because obviously there's the government restrictions and what have you. Is despite the fact we know that we'd be able to do everything safe, social distance, we thought for the pilot, let's do it like this, keep it nice and separate. So I'm currently from the Cupboard Under the Stairs studio in Crooked Home in Kilmarnock. Peter, geographically, where are you?
So I'm over on the east side of the city. I'm in Uddingston. The kitchen is sort of out the back of my house. So we've got lots of fresh air, and as far as the rules go, anything I do out here, I can be doing the green room, which is the other side of it. And they all call it that, not for any sort of show busyness. It's actually green.
It's where he grows weed. No, he
we're all outside, so if everything goes well, then we can maybe start getting some guests in here. Because as you see, the table's a big chunk of wood, so we can get somebody over there, and you're in a restaurant and you're sitting down, you're eating food, so you're allowed to take your mask off.
Exactly.
All that kind of good stuff.
All right, we got a quick question from James Langfield. Morning, James. He asks, what would you substitute if you were making a vegetarian version? A vegetarian virgin, I think it's pretty easy. It's just a cucumber and time in our hands. But I think if we're looking to make a vegetarian version of this, what do you think is a good substitute?
Fantastic question. I would see what we're basically just using peppers today because that's traditional with the original minimum.
Sweet.
You can you can use your onions as well. Get some don't cut them up too small, keep them quite chunky. Courgettes, jackfruit. Jackfruit's very popular amongst the vegetarian community. Get that in there. Just make sure you drain all the water out of it because what you want to do is you want to put flavour in, not add liquid in. But any vegetables at all, you can get your again. If you look at what we're doing here, we're putting smokiness in. Right. You might want to put some paprika in there, just smoky paprika to get that flavour back.
Just to bring it back,
and you're putting sweetness in. So you could get some apples, chop some apples up in there. That'll break down. You could put more sweet peppers, purple sprouting broccoli when it's in season. Even if you get a sweet potato, stick it in the microwave for 5-6 minutes, so it's just maybe 80% cooked. Cube that up and you put that in place your sausage. You're getting your sweetness, you're getting some texture, and you're getting some filling in there. So
and that's loads of substitutes which are not even expensive. So that's really good.
No.
Yeah. This is making my mouth water because normally Saturday morning is when we head down to the roll shop. I can't go down to our new roll shop. The roll shop we actually were using is closed now. Not because of the economy, it's because the owner turned out to be a beast. So that's amazing.
Well, there's a lot of that going about. It seems to be a popular winter sport. So what we're going to do is, so I've got a bit of colour on the bacon, starting to brown off the sausages. At this point, I'm going to dump in the peppers. Right. But it can be all the one colour. These are fairly small, as you can see. So if you get yourself a big red pepper or green pepper, just slice that up as well. Just for the folks watching at home, John Pirate King TV, we try and teach people some knife skills. So, so take your knife and you're basically gripping it between your finger and your thumb.
Okay.
Tuck your other fingers underneath so you've got lots of flat knuckle. And all you're basically doing is sliding that knife up and down that flat edge. So you don't cut anything off. Nice and slow, go as fast as your skill allows you. And just make sure the first thing your knife's touching is that flat of your knuckle, because then you know where the knife is. And if you push down, you know you ain't getting no fingers. Because, again, for the vegetarian version of this, I don't know how vegetarians feel about cannibalism, but you're probably best not eating yourself. So there is no need to go at 1,000 miles an hour. That's for us showing off once we've done it. But nice and slow and just build your speed up. If you have something which is bigger than your knuckles, so you've got a big onion or whatever, cut it in half. Keep everything safe.
And do the same.
Build up your skill. Learn. Practice.
We're learning what buckfast tastes like. We're learning how to work knives. This is the most Scottish cooking show you're ever going to see.
Well, that's it. If you tuned into the real Saturday Kitchen, they would have miraculously produced 17 finished dishes by now.
Oh,
and
right.
They'd be on talking about somebody's self-help book.
So tell us what's going on in EastEnders right now. Oh, somebody's dead. I don't know. I fucking hate EastEnders. What are they going to do?
How did you confit that duck leg? Oh, I don't know. One of the assistants done it this morning at 5 o'clock for minimum wage.
Oh! I know you're not a fan of the Saturday Morning Kitchen. We've talked about this before, but I am a big fan of old school cooking shows. See, Keith Floyd, 2 bottles of Bordeaux in on a boat, which is going like that. So you could still batter up food, and you saw every single thing he done. Yeah.
Mate, it's looked like shit in the plate, but I bet it tasted delicious.
Yeah.
And, nowadays it's a case of, well, here's me slicing an onion, which everybody can do. And then you take this onion, and it becomes this leg of lamb. And then I'm just going to poke a hole and put this garlic in the leg of lamb, along with the other 47 or 60 different herbs that I've put in here. And I'm going to put it in the oven. But here's what it looks like when it comes out the oven. So there's no
process.
If you want to learn the process, there's obviously a £30 book you can go and buy, or there's an online video that you can pay 60 odd quid for. Don't. That's a whole show in itself.
I tell you what, don't worry. The Pirate King cooking course will be coming soon as well. We're going to make sure.
Or a cease and desist for BBC.
Do you know? Let them come at us. Let them come at us during this time. I'm not being funny. Tell you what, if James Martin wants to turn up personally, I'll cut his fucking hair. Right.
Right.
Let's
so
see.
how long are we in? You're watching the clock. How long are we in?
We are only 16 minutes in, 17 minutes in. Loads of people asking questions already. I've got a couple more as we're kicking that wee bit. I've got to ask this question. What is that wheel thing behind you that has been driving me absolutely nuts?
That.
Yes.
So this beast here is my meat engine. It's an Argentinian asado grill. So you basically light a big proper fire underneath it. You'll have logs and small children if they step out of line. And on top of it, once we get the cameras better set up, there's actually V's. So it heats up. It's a barbecue essentially.
Oh right, okay.
And what this does is it raises the cooking platform up and down. So you instead of moving the fire or turning the heat down, you move the meat a bit further away.
All right, okay.
It's very noisy. Yeah. But it just basically, if you do that, it lifts up the cooking plate. And then as your fire dies down, you can get a bit closer. I'm just going to bang these tomatoes in.
Nebola.
These are chunky chopped tomatoes from Aldi.
Right.
You can buy whole tomatoes and just squish them with your hand. Which is quite a good stress reliever, that taking to some tomatoes.
And if you are wanting to involve kids or maybe your hipster friend that's never touched fruit, you can get them involved as well.
It's fantastically tactile. So the only thing I would say is when you go into Aldi or go into any other stores are available, you'll see a thing called Passat. Passat is basically pureed tomatoes, so it's like really thick tomato juice. Delicious, great for pasta and all that. Not for this dish because you want a little bit of the texture from the tomatoes. So all right.
We've got a quick question from James. We might come back to this at the end, but he's asking, what drink best accompanies this dish? Now, you've said that this is a traditional kind of breakfast dish, right? Yeah. So, as a good strong cup of tea, or would you want some orange juice, or is there something that'd help lift that flavour or cleanse your palate? Anything you'd recommend?
I would go for fruit juice. The acidity in fruit juice and the acidity in this probably wouldn't blend too well, but we'll talk a bit more about balance of flavours. So although coffee's quite acidic as well, espresso or coffee, or if you're in continental and you're not working that day, a nice glass of red wine wouldn't go amiss.
10 o'clock in the morning, I like your style. I like your style.
We've got early because we wanted to go head to head with the other.
I'm pretty sure they're winning, to be honest, but fuck them.
Only just.
So
I'm thinking this is good for brunch. This is something you batter together in the morning.
Right.
Again, I know it's a Turkish dish, very Italian. Leave it bubbling away so all those flavours merge. You got friends, family come over at lunchtime and actually set up for Saturday.
Yeah, not right now, of course. I mean, they'll have to sit at the end of the driveway, and you can just eat food, making eye contact with them, start on a fight, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Catapulting buckfast sausages across the street.
Saying things like, "I've never liked your boyfriend," and then eating a spoonful, and there's fuck all they can do about it. Not like a good fight. I was actually out for dinner last night, and I got in a fight with, not a fight with the in-laws. But apparently we're all going to Florida in a couple of years, and they were arguing over who's going to drive. Because everyone wants to drink. And I'm like, well, I don't drink, so I'll drive. But I'll level with you. I'm tempted one day to disappear in the middle of Disneyland and turn up absolutely fucking pissed just to see the look of panic in their face. Go, I can't. What he's going to do? What he's going to do? Do you want the keys? Well, I've stuck them up my arse like a wee dirty tail. You're getting a taxi home. Fuck you. I've got it all planned. Right, Peter, what are we doing next?
So, just put the lid on that just to bring up the heat. So we'll go, you just let that bubble away. What that'll do is it'll release some of the liquid out of the tomatoes. Not thicken it, but just concentrate those flavours. We're going to move on to our eggs now. Little egg tip with eggs. You'll see people, and even professional chefs, will take eggs and they'll crack them on the side of a bowl.
Okay.
Don't do that. Because what you're doing is effectively pushing eggshell into your egg. So people go, quick, oh, I've got shell in my eggs.
Okay.
Take on some flat, crack it on some flat.
Oh, holy shit! Holy shit!
So always crack your eggs on the flat, and you'll have less opportunity.
Here, Mrs. McAllister, home eccy teacher, you didn't fucking teach me that! That's like only the other week when I found out how you peel a banana properly. I've been doing it wrong for all these fucking years.
Yeah, you don't need a hammer.
Yeah, exactly, man. The number of toolkits I've had to buy in the middle of a day. Just want a banana, having to go in a B&Q, look like a weirdo. That boy's a way to build a sex dungeon with that banana. But get it all the time. I was wearing my GIMP mask. Sorry, air mask thing.
Oh, right. We are meant to be wearing masks. So,
eggs in a bowl. What are we doing with these?
We're going to take the eggs and we're going to beat them. Fork, spoon, whisk, whatever you fancy. You need to hear your implement of choice hitting the bowl. You need to actually get, because you'll get people who go, oh, I'm mixing the eggs. That's not mixing eggs. You need to get a bit of action. And if you beat them for even a minute, 30 seconds, a minute, you'll see the colour change. That's you introducing air.
Okay.
So this is kind of where this dish separates from shish kuka, which is the other one, which is the tomato base. You crack the eggs into it and then put it in the oven, and it kind of poaches the eggs.
Right.
What we're going to do is we're going to mix the eggs through this, so it gives it a kind of creamy texture. It's also very good to introducing eggs into people's diets who don't like eggs.
You don't like eggs? I'm not the world's biggest fan of eggs, but I will eat an omelette.
Oh.
With churros, chorizo on it. Chorizo on it. It's like when I was over in New Orleans a couple of years ago for WrestleMania, and Peter, this is a confusing thing. People kept asking me if I was Jeff Hardy.
Both your hips work, don't they? And your teetotal, so yeah.
But I don't look like Jeff Hardy. Every time I would go, Matt Hardy. And they went, no, Jeff. It's like, well, first of all, he's not fucking Scottish, and second of all, wearing a kilt. But, you know what I mean? But that happens so often, I started thinking there must be some email that's gone out through every wrestling fan on the planet.
Yeah.
And saying that...
Watch for this man and wind him up.
Yeah, and saying that, though, William Regal did have most of the British foreign contingent convinced that the Crankies were my mum and dad. So... including darling Robbie Brookside, who actually came up and legitimately went, you didn't tell me the Crankies were your mum and dad.
Why have you been keeping this from me?
They're not. And the thing is, it was like, is that like, is it like a showbiz secret? It's like, no, man, no. Imagine
obviously, you wanted to make your own way. You didn't want to be living off their reputation.
Well, that is at the end of the day. Yeah, mum and dad. Sorry, the Crankies. They if the Crankies were my mum and dad, to everyone that is watching, my career would be doing a lot better. I'd be in panto. I would happily dress up as a woman dressing up as a wee schoolboy. I would happily do that.
Yeah, well, there's probably good money to be made elsewhere doing that as well.
Right, what we got?
We've got our mozzarella, which comes in a little bag. There's some fluid in there with the ball of cheese, so don't be frightened by it. Put it in a bowl, and just fish the mozzarella out. That's what a ball of mozzarella looks like.
Lovely.
I'm just going to turn this down. I'm just going to tear this up into a little. Again, everything we've been doing today is kind of inch by inch, so little inch by inch chunks. We're just going to scatter that across.
How many were you looking to serve for this, Peter?
This will feed 4 Murphys and probably 6 ordinary people with bread.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So cracked a mozzarella in it. We're not going to stir that. What we want to do is allow mozzarella to kind of get a bit funky and stringy and cheesy and do mozzarella stuff.
Right.
Not a wash off our spatula. So what we do with this now, Billy, is we're going to put it into the oven. I'm going to put it in the oven open because, again, I want to get some colour on it, and I want to melt that cheese. Before I do that,
right,
So I was talking earlier, a wee bit earlier about balance and flavour.
Okay.
So for the more astute cooks out there, I haven't seasoned anything yet. Put bacon in there, which is salty. I'm going to put some Parmesan cheese in there, which is salty. I put peppers in there, which are sweet. As the tomatoes cook down, they are also sweet.
Right.
I put some cheese in there, which is creamy, which is not technically a flavour, but it's a texture, it's a mouthfeel.
Yeah.
So right now, the only real seasoning, you can put garlic and herbs and all kinds of stuff in there, but we're keeping this nice and simple. We're going to put some black pepper in there just on the top.
Nice.
Obviously, when people put this on the plate, they can season it up for themselves. Just a little bit of black pepper. We'll get that out of the way. We'll take some of our our Parmesan. I'm just going to scatter that across the top. So that's us introducing Parmesan. Have you ever heard the expression umami?
Yes.
Apart from Reeves and Mortimer. Umami is a flavour. It's that kind of salty thing, or not even salty because that is a flavour itself. It's that thing in your, when you taste something that makes your mouth water. So Parmesan cheese. So say something if that's actually the vinegar, the acid in the vinegar. But yeah, it's that. So Parmesan's quite high in umami flavours. So that's what we're putting in there. So
I heard the expression in a Bare Naked Ladies song, of all things.
And
you're talking about mouthwater, and I actually got hypnotised the other day. And she was talking about how there's certain words that if you will say them for long enough will send a signal to your brain and your mouth will start watering. So I don't even know what umami is, and I'm over it. Getting hypnotised was terrifying because I was worried that I was going to be like Total Recall or Jason Bourne or some shit, and finds out that I am actually the Cranky's son. That would have been embarrassing. Would have explained a lot.
You're fixating.
Right,
we
got a big bit of bread there, Peter.
Right, so again, this is an olive ciabatta. Ciabatta. You get it proper
ciabatta.
Again, this is for Aldi. This is the quality of stuff they're getting in here. It's part bake, so it takes 10-12 minutes. So
all right.
We're going to stick it in the oven as well. I say I'm putting this in my pizza oven because it's what I've got out here, but this just goes in your oven, the oven. Medium to high, 200 degrees.
Okay.
We're just going to let that bubble away.
That's pretty good. Aldi's is good though. Aldi sells good stuff. I mean, you can get like a pint of ham and a canoe and some parachutes.
Spot welder, yeah, the whole lot.
And you can get some pretty good food as well.
That's basically the cooking done.
Right.
When that comes out, we're just going to put a bit of grill on the bread. So again, I got my grill out here. I have a little pan. I'm going to put that on, bang it up, and shut up, and hand over to you.
All right. Well, I'm still here talking away. So we've got loads of questions that have come in. Let's actually go over some of those again. Can't we? If there's a couple in there. Like they said about the vegetarian one, for example. All right, there's a message here from David. Oh, I didn't get it. Here we go. I heard someone talking about a wrestling guy from Scotland called The King, and he had beard oil out. I assumed it was you, Peter. There is another wrestling king in Scotland that seems to have a big beard. I think that might be Jester. I think that's probably a wee bit of... because Jester's the only person I know that's got a beard oil. Unless you've got a wee bottle of crisp and dry there, we can make this happen.
No, I've got that. So I think the confusion being when I wrestled as Conscience.
Yes.
Now that I'm cooking, I'm kind of hiding behind the brand of the Pirate King. So I am a king, but only in the kitchen, not in the ring.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, big kink maybe. King. No, it could be about that. I remember actually, we've never really told the story the first time we actually met, Peter. Do you remember?
Oh, the children's TV one.
Children's TV show that was filmed in not Kelvin Hall because it was Kelvin Hall.
It was Kelvin Hall, right?
It was Kelvin Hall, and this was a show called it became a show called Stakeout. I don't know what it was called at the time. And basically, if you like, it was Beatles about for kids, right?
Yes.
So what would happen is a little kid would be I hate using the phrase victim, but there it is. Would be the hit, if you like. And this one was a little boy, absolutely, him and his mates loved wrestling. The little boy in question himself sadly didn't make it to school that day, but his classmates were getting taken on a surprise school trip, and they were taken to Kelvin Hall to see a wrestling show. And on the wrestling show, it turns out this wee boy turned out to be a wrestler. Now, the actual wrestling company itself featured this gentleman here. I am in this episode where I play the front of a pantomime horse. Still not entirely sure why, but I was involved in the concept of this. Peter, do you have many memories from that day?
I do. We just set up as if it was a normal kind of, because obviously there's lots of shows happening where maybe a bet or whatever, or you get booked in to do parties or whatever. So we just set up as a normal show.
Yeah.
And I think they had about 500 or 600 kids in there.
There was a lot of kids there. They basically emptied a school to come along.
But prior to that, they wanted to do a rehearsal, but they wanted to rehearse the whole show. So we were going to do, I think it was a match. I think we'd done a match to kind of introduce people. So I think I'd done a singles match and got a beat down on me, and then Falcon, me and him were tagging together. He got a one, got a beat down, which set up the one they were going to film for the episode.
Yeah.
So there's 3 matches, but the first 2 matches was just basically to get the crowd warm, so that when they actually went to film that for the tag match, they were involved, engaged, and everyone was good. So this production guy wanted to rehearse the whole show. I goes, there's no point in doing that. I goes, if you rehearse it, then you're going to kill the audience because they'll know what's going to happen. Yeah.
That's how it works.
Exactly. He goes, well, we rehearse everything. I'm like, I won't work. And I goes, look, let's do one of the matches so you can get your sound, get your lights.
Yeah.
And then we'll put together a similar match with the same outcome.
Yeah.
So we done that, and he came over and he went, yeah, no, that's great. He goes, I see what you mean about keeping the crowd hot and all that. He goes, yeah, so we'll just do that one more time. I'm like, what? He's like, see that match you just had? Let's just do it again. I'm like, no. Well, you have to. It's in your contract. I don't have a contract.
Yeah.
So anyway.
You're not arguing with him for the sake of it. It's like you've explained it to him. Oh yeah, great. Now I'm going to ignore everything you said and start to do it again. But you guys were great. Like you said, it was like 500 or 600 kids there. You've been there all day. I was sitting up in the stands getting, I got a free wrestling show. This is fucking brilliant for me. Oh, by the way, Billy, will you be the front of a pantomime horse? Why am I the front of a fucking pantomime horse? This is about fucking
pantomime horse.
To this day, Peter, I've fucking no idea. And I've seen the pilot and they point the fucking camera at it, so clearly someone's got it. At one point, they're going, dress as a pantomime horse, make your way down to the ring. And I remember thinking, am I going to get the shit kicked out of me in the middle of a pantomime horse costume? Because I am not into that. Like, that's a bad day at the office for me. You know what I mean? But you guys put on a hell of a show, and I remember, and it led to a series.
Which we were not involved in.
Which you were not involved in, but I was. But thank you for that. I appreciate that. But I had to play things like a Sheik's translator. I had to play head of a sports company. I had to be a walking traffic warden. So when people walked, I had to walk up in the middle of Birmingham and give them speeding tickets, which I nearly got the utter shit kicked out of me by a gang of kids. I can't remember what we had to do in Liverpool, but that was like, see all these deserted streets. Oh, look, there's a door in that one. Go knock that door. And I went, I will not, because that's got a pair of shoes hanging above it. And where I come from, that means that's a drug dealer. And you suddenly get all these folk from London going, oh, goodness sake. It's like you've never been at your house. We also found a combat knife lying in the middle of a school ground. So it's interesting times. Now we've got our dish out, we've got our bread out. That looks absolutely fucking amazing, Peter.
So what we're going to do is just take our bread, just cut it off onto some slices. What we're going to try and do is get a bit of.
Can I just put a fast comment up before?
Yeah, so apparently there's one more comment that.
Interesting fact, 483, the Crankies used to live pretty close to me. I'd see them every week or so on the local Sainsbury's in Nearluth. Yeah, that's where Mum and Dad go. Yeah, that's how they get their stuff.
So just going to put some olive oil on this bread. And again, this is not dish specific. You can do this for any bread you have. Take a full clove of garlic.
Lovely.
Cut it in half.
All right.
I'm just going to rub that on the bread. We'll rub it on again once it's toasted.
Oh.
It should toast fairly quickly. And it's quick garlic bread. But it's, I tend to find, the problem with garlic bread is if they put raw garlic in there, and raw garlic doesn't taste that nice.
No.
What this is actually doing is you're cooking the garlic, you're putting some heat through it, makes it go aromatic, so it gets in your nose before it gets in your throat. Giggly. Sorry, that's my thing. So, just going to toast these off. Hopefully, shouldn't take too long. So this is basically our dish here. We've got our sausages in there. We've got our bacon. We've got some tomatoes, some black pepper. We've got some mozzarella cheese and some Parmesan cheese there. So I'm not going to tear it apart, but what we're trying to get from the mozzarella is kind of that.
Yeah,
so
a little bit.
Up on your bread. You're going to get all that good stuff. So I know that's started toasted. I can smell the garlic now.
There we go.
To the top of it, we'll get some fresh parsley. Again, if you're absolutely hanging on a Saturday morning, you could probably dispense with this. But if you've got the family coming around for brunch, a little bit of greenery never goes away. And some finely chopped basil, because you know, as we said, this is Scottish eggs, so
yeah,
there's basil growing wild all over Scotland. No, they're basil plants in Albi as well.
I've got a mate of mine that grows them in a tinfoil greenhouse at his back door. So he says it's basil.
Sure that's basil?
Not as sure as it was a second ago. Not as sure as it was a second ago.
You know them all year round.
He does. He does. Loads of people come to his house day and night to get them. All right. So we're going to serve this up. Well, you would normally serve this up as a bit of brunch. We're coming up on. We're only coming up on about 20 to 11 just now, so that's probably too early. But oh hey.
Take too long. Be patient with your toast. Stick it under the grill.
God forbid anyone in your house is ever trying to get a suntan.
There we go.
There we go. Done. We should have done that at the start.
It's never an episode of this without the fire hammer coming out.
I was just thinking we would have been done in 5 minutes if we'd have brought that out at the start. God love anybody in your house who's trying to get a suntan. You're just like, oh, fucking why wait? Have it done in 2 minutes. There we go. Would you serve this up in the middle of a table with bread to dip and scoop, or a bowl it up separately? That's an interesting idea. Would you just put the dish on the table?
I would. It's very much goody bastard mode, where you would just sit in front of it with a loaf. Or it's a family sharing thing, so
I'm not a sharing kind of guy. I'm one of those guys that does that pizza maths. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, that's 2 slices for me and 2 slices for them. And what's this motherfucker doing when they try and take a third slice? Well, I'll flip a fucking table if some asshole does that.
Have you or have you not already had 2 slices, Kevin?
Exactly. We know what Kevin's like. There we go. So we're just giving that a wee rub after you've cooked it. You give it an extra bit of zing. And boom, what are we going to call this, Peter? What are we going to call this?
This is Glasgow's unfertilized eggs. No, well, it's basically it's a take on menemen or satsuki. It's just breakfast eggs.
Breakfast eggs. Breakfast eggs extravagant. There we go. Very well done. Right. You can do this. A good way of checking out more and more of everything that's going on over the Pirate King. You can check that out on Facebook as well. Pierre does his live videos. And as you can see, it takes you through the whole process so you can do it yourself, wherever the fuck you are. That's the best way of going on about it. Don't forget, and as he did say, make sure to take your time and get in about everything. Don't have it pre-packaged, or do not have any production assistants. If you got production assistants, then that's it. Not you, of course. I mean, more people that are pre-packaging. Oh, bloody hell, I got to fright my life. Sorry, I got to fright my life. My Wayne's out here.
Pajamas.
That's pajamas. So, Yeah.
Please, I want to watch Dougie.
All right, you go and watch Dougie then.
You have it.
I'm not paying you for that. I'm not paying you for that.
That's a walk-on part at best.
Exactly, yeah, he's not getting anything for that. Right, Pierre, where's the best place people can find out stuff about you? Obviously, we're over at Pirate King. What are the videos and what other stuff have you got coming folks' way?
So, Pirate King TV, as Billy said, it's on Facebook, Pirate King TV. It's on YouTube as Pirate King Kitchen. There's probably about 20 videos on there, ranging from something like this, 20, 30 minutes.
Yep.
All the way up to an hour. We do a tapas special, which lasted about an hour. There's probably 25 dishes in that. You know, you can just make them bigger or pick 2 or 3. There's always loads of stuff. The plan is to have guests, to have somebody sitting there, ask them all kinds of questions, and I'll cook some food for them and we'll have a bit of a chat and all that.
Yeah.
COVID's kind of put a bit of a weight on that for the time being. Hopefully, if you guys enjoyed this format, if you like the Saturday Effing Kitchen, give us a comment and we'll maybe do another one. We might do another 3. We'll set
like
we get our Netflix special.
We'll set chat topics and all manner of things, and we'll do loads of extra stuff and have fun. If anyone has been offended by my swearing, I'm fucking sorry about that, but it is going to happen this time in the morning. You can check me out. I'm over at Billy Kirkwood Comedy. I've got podcasts, videos, vlogs, so much coming. You can check out my Patreon as well. Loads of shit coming up as everything has been locked down again, and they're trying to kill comedy, but I will not let it die. That's it, really. Supposing I've got to start just running around the town, windmilling my dick to make people giggle. I will do it. I will do it, Peter.
Well, just make sure you get paid. Make sure there's somebody with a bucket. You know what I mean? It's
and that's why you're the best. And that's why you're the Pirate King, sir. You're always thinking about the millions. That would just be me and a night in the cells. That's all that would have been.
What is the billable on this? Quick shout out to the lovely people at Broadbeer. Got their hat on today.
Yay!
This is my favourite hat. JJ's encouraging me to buy another one. It will allow at least me to get this one dirty before I buy another one. I think JJ's going to come on the show as a view.
Brilliant.
Get going. But no, guys, if you want to see this again, let us know. Don't take it for granted that we'll be back. If there's something you want to specifically learn how to make for breakfast, brunch, give us a shout. And if we can do it in the time, we'll batter in and let you know how to make it.
We'll do it. Right. That's all we've got time for in Saturday fucking Kitchen. We will see you next time. How do we finish this off? Do we just
I do the thing and I go hit our music.
You do the thing.